From 5 News, I'm meteorologist Stephen Elmore. This is your 5+ extended forecast. It is Tuesday, October 22nd, getting towards the end of the month now, right? All of September, little to no rain, collectively less than an inch across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. It's been rinse and repeat. Is that a bad joke for how dry it's been outside? For October so far, with little to no rain chances so far and record highs once again throughout this upcoming week. Multiple records could be broken this week when it comes to those daytime highs. Today, we have a good chance at breaking those records. Wednesday, we'll have a good chance. And Thursday, with temperatures back up into the upper 80s and low 90s. Late in the week, Friday into the weekend, cold front comes in. Another low chance for maybe a stray shower or two starts to come in as well. Don't expect much. Really what it's going to do, though, is bring in the cooler air for the weekend. So all those fall fun things that you're saving for the weekend with the family, it'll at least feel comfortable outside with highs only reaching up into the mid to upper 70s. The good news is when it comes to the rain, when it comes to the drought that we're in, the extreme drought for some, is that towards the end of the month going into early November, signs are showing that some rain chances could be back into the forecast. Usually, we don't talk about the long-range data because it changes so much. When it comes to having rain chances, substantial rain chances back into the forecast, even though it's this far out, it's something that we at least talk about, just preparing you for the potential maybe of some good news back into the forecast once we get closer towards the end of October into early November. It's not a guarantee, but it's the best chance we've had in quite a while. Temperatures starting off for your Wednesday morning on the warmer side, upper 50s, low 60s as you head out the door. Still plenty of sunshine throughout the day. High pressure still locked in. Northwest Arkansas daytime highs tomorrow, eventually reaching up into those upper 80s. This is where we'll get into that range of potentially breaking some records. I think if we reach up into those upper 80s tomorrow, we'll have no problem of setting that record for Northwest Arkansas. Across the River Valley, daytime highs expected to be up into those low 90s. The record for tomorrow is at 90. So as long as we hit that, we can have a record for tomorrow. You see this 20% here tomorrow afternoon. This is what happens when that high pressure really starts to lock in place. We could see maybe just a bubble up shower here and there once we get into the peak heating hour of the day. Don't expect much. It's going to be little to no impact. Maybe somebody out there will get a quick shower for tomorrow afternoon. It's been windy all day today, and for Wednesday, a lot less of that wind. The reason we got so much warmer today was because of the strong wind gusts that peaked around 30 miles per hour. For our Wednesday, hovering right around 15 to 20 miles per hour. Still breezy, but not as strong as those winds as we were today. That's why we had the higher fire risk. And of course, you add those winds along with the burn ban list that we have. This is the updated list. Northwest Arkansas, River Valley, burn ban still continuing. Portions of eastern Oklahoma up until this point. At the time we're talking about these burn bans, Sequoia and LaFleur have not been added to the list just yet. I expect at some point we're going to see those burn bans added to Sequoia and LaFleur County because we're ready. We have Delaware and Adair counties added. Further south you go across eastern Oklahoma, southeastern Oklahoma, they have burn bans. And Haskell and Latimer County also have burn bans. So now Sequoia and LaFleur County have been surrounded on all angles, north, south, east, west, with burn bans. Eventually, we're more than likely going to see some burn bans in those counties. So what's the impact with this record heat this week? Well, unfortunately, the drought's going to continue. Those burn bans are going to still hold into place. Between now and Thursday, those temperatures are into the upper 80s and low 90s, not where we want to be in late October. Unfortunately, we're going to be talking about setting several records this week as well, something we've been far too accustomed to so far this fall season, breaking numerous records so far with how warm it is outside this late into the year. You see our temperature trend this week, seeing a lot of that red. Those are those above average temperatures continuing throughout the rest of this work week. Where you see the change coming in, here it is. It's still going to be on the warmer side when it comes to averages, but that cold front comes in Friday into the weekend, and finally we start to see some cooler air before it already starts to build back in by the time we get to the end of the weekend. So daytime highs for you throughout the rest of the week into those mid to upper 80s. That's where we'll break those records. This weekend, though, I got to say, if we're going to have a cold front, another dry cold front that's not going to bring any rain, at least the cooler air is coming, and at least the cooler air is coming by the time we get to the weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, Northwest Arkansas, mid-70s. Across the River Valley, upper 70s, low 80s. Still on the warmer side, but at least it feels a little bit more like fall by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. We'll start to heat back up by the time we get to early next week. Couple days across the river valley this week will be close to the 90s. Of course, that's where we're going to be watching to see if we break a few records. Rain chances almost little to nothing to talk about in the short term. Long term, a little bit more of a conversation. But short term, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yes, there is low chances of a pop-up shower here and there due to that front coming in. I think Friday into Saturday is going to be our best chance for maybe a few of those scattered showers. Don't expect much though, and if we do get anything, it's not going to be anywhere to what we need to get us out of this drought. This is what the short-term data shows us. You're seeing above average temperatures at large across central United States, and especially here at home for us. This is where we're seeing really warm temperatures for the end of October into early November when it comes to the average for this time of year. Here's the good news. Here's the short-term data. The green you see there, that's precipitation chances that are above average. Now we're starting to see some good signs for the end of October into early November when it comes to potentially having some more rain back into the forecast, even if that means it won't be cool and fall and crisp mornings like we love so much this time of year. At least maybe we can reverse the trend of the drought and start to get some rain back into the forecast. Now here's the long range data. This is going to take you into your first week of November. Unfortunately, still above average temperatures. Still going to see those temperatures well warmer than what we needed to be heading into the 11th month of November, where we're seeing still temperatures into those upper 70s and low 80s, right? Again, here's the good news. Even though it's going to be warm, the precipitation chance is increasing for the central United States and for us here back at home. We could see some rain chances start to sneak in there right around Halloween, pushing into the first week of November. Northwest Arkansas over the next 10 days. I think you'll like it for the most part. Maybe not a whole lot of when that rain comes in, but let's work our way down over the next couple of days and then get into next week. Northwest Arkansas. Potential records being broken over the next couple of days, at least through Thursday, we'll have the chance. Friday, cold front works in. Friday evening, you'll start to feel the winds shifting coming out of the northwest. Some cooler air filters in, and we'll hang on to some very low rain chances through the weekend. But those daytime highs, mid-70s, sunshine, not too bad. We'll start to warm up early next week. And then once we get into the middle, late next week, take a look at Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's what the long-range data is showing you from the Climate Prediction Center of, hey, there is some rain potentially coming our direction. Now, unfortunately, this is coming right around October 30th, October 31st, and November 1st. It's still far out, so it's not exact of when that heaviest rain is going to come in, but just be wary that if that does land on Halloween, it might not be great for those trick-or-treaters that night. If the kids are grown, already off to college, have jobs, and you're watching, we finally get some rain back into the forecast, right? So that's the kind of the trade-off here. Not saying it's going to happen on Halloween. Just be cautious right now. You may be wanting to start to plan that backup plan if you can't be trick-or-treating all night long with those kiddos because it's pouring rain outside. Across the river valley, temperatures into those upper 80s, low 90s through the end of the work week. This weekend's going to feel much better. That cooler air is going to come in. It's not a huge blast of cool air that we've had a few times. We've already had our first freeze in some places. This is just going to be temperatures dropping about 5 to 10 degrees. Some cooler air flows in. Could see a few scattered showers over the weekend. Minimal impact at best. We could just see maybe a stray shower here and there if we're lucky. Warming up into early next week, and then that next front comes in by the time we get to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday into late next week. Again, 30th, 31st, and November 1st is the days that we're targeting. Somewhere in between there, that heavy rain's going to land, hopefully, and that's going to help us break out of this trend that we're in with this drought. Unfortunately, it's just coming right around Halloween. We'll be working on that forecast as we get a little bit closer. So here's the quick headlines before we go here. Potential records to be broken for those daytime highs for tomorrow and Thursday. And this weekend's going to feel much more comfortable. And the big story next week, we hear us talking a lot about, is when the rain's going to come, if the rain still holds, and if those trick-or-treat plans are going to be impacted or not. We'll have that all for you as we get a little bit closer. Let that data work itself out. From 5 News, I'm meteorologist Stephen Elmore. That's your 5 Plus extended forecast.